today's video, we're gonna get right to it. I looked up some brow tutorials myself here on YouTube, and I haven't seen anybody post in like a year to 5 years. So this is an updated brow routine, very 2025. Let's get right into it. First, you're gonna wanna start off brushing your brows into the natural direction that they grow and just kind of assess them. Here are my natural brows. I actually need to get done. I didn't realize until this camera was that close to my face, but I'm just brushing my brows up because that's how I like them to look. And I'm really kind of figuring, okay, where do I need to add a little more pizzazz? This is the Absolute New York Super Slim Brow Pencil. I love this. This is my favorite brow pencil that I've ever used in my entire life. Look at how thin and precise that tip is. And all I'm gonna do to really make my brows pop, and this is something I wanna show you guys too. Do you see how I'm pointing to these specific parts of my brow? You want it to start in the front, line up with your pupil, and then the outer corner of your eye should match. I start by going against the grain and I take the product into the skin because this is really going to allow me to create that foundational line that you need. In my opinion, as an artist, this is how I do it on any face. Because if I start with this foundational line, I know where I want my brow to start and stop. And then I know that from there, I will work up. So right now I'm really just defining and still going against the grain, as you can see, to really make sure that that bottom line is perfect. Then I brush the hairs down, and not everybody needs to do this, but me personally, right there, I want to fill in a little bit more because it's a little bit more sparse there. And then you'll see me going with the grain as the hair is growing. So that's the same direction. And then brushing that through slightly because I want to lighten up a little bit of how dark that product looks. Now this is the color Smoke, so I am using a black pencil. Not everybody needs to do that. But now here is where I start taking that bottom line as a guideline, and I start using the product you guys see flicking with those hair-like motions up, and it just gives such much more of a natural effect. And the biggest thing here is brushing the product through. If you do not brush the product through, that's how you get those harsh lines. And then to set the brows, I'm using the 24-hour brow setter. I love the tip on this thing. It's like perfect. It almost spackles your brows down and they don't move all day. I personally don't trim my eyebrows because it makes them look thinner. So this is how I get the fullest brow possible for me. And then the front, I focus the product even more in the front so it looks more realistic, and then some detail work and we're done. Something that I am continuing with, it just has evolved from 2016 to 2025, is the way that I do my concealer. So I just grabbed the first one here in my drawer. This is the LA Girl Pro Conceal, an OG. I think we all have at least one of these in our kit. The difference that I have made these days is if I do not have any face makeup on, if I don't have anything on my eyes that is a little bit more dramatic, when I do decide to do my brows, and if I do carve them out, I do not put a bright shade under. I'll go with sometimes even my foundation or a concealer that matches my skin as close as possible, because that glowing brow look, it's not a thing anymore. We really thought we were eating up back then, and it just doesn't eat the way it used to. Another thing I will say is I no longer carve out the top. I only do the bottom. For me these days, less is more. So I'm just gonna start in the middle of the brow here and work my way down. And then I'm gonna lightly dust it right here. I'm not gonna go all the way like I used to. I don't know why I stopped doing it. I just changed that. And then I'm just gonna take my Kaylee Beauty eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to continue like we always have. I'm just gonna buff this out, and I like to brush it downward. I used to only do this before I ever did my eye makeup. Now I kind of just play with it, whatever feels right in the moment. And I'll really just diffuse this down. Instead of having that glow from here all the way through, it just gives like an ever so fresh highlight. And then what I'll sometimes do too is take a little bit of my eyeshadow or bronzer too, and then just kind of like go up here in the beginning of the brow and just dust it a bit more, and I'll go and dust that too if I have eye makeup on. And I just feel like that's so pretty. Like, look at this brow. This is my natural brow. Cute, right? But like, this is just really pretty, elevated. It's soft, it's not too much, but it looks good. Now on this brow, let's go in with an eyebrow pen. This brow pen right here has become another favorite of mine in my little makeup arsenal. This is a product that was actually sent to me from TikTok Shop, and this is the Eye Method Natural Brow Pen. They have a couple different versions of the brow pen. This was the OG, and then this one is another one that they sent me more recently. I have used these down to the bone, so this is the only one with some ink in it. It's mimicking that microblading. On the opposite end, you have a very precise tip that allows you to get those really, really fine hair-like strokes. I think both are a beautiful option. I love the way both look. That's why I'm showing you both of my favorite products to do it with. So for this one, I like to hold it on its side here, and I'm just gonna go right in. Now, when it comes to the brow pen, I actually start in the beginning portion of my eyebrow a bit more rather than the middle. So I'm going to start making hair-like strokes. So when you put the pen on, initially it seems like it's darker, but for this brow, I need to fill in space right here. So I'm gonna start doing this like this. And I go lightly, as light as I can, and push upwards. And do you see how it fills in like hair? I love that. I've had my eyebrows on at the gym before and it didn't move. Just filling in where I need to a little bit more. And then up in the front here, on its side too, I will do that. Now, in order for this not to look so harsh, what you're gonna wanna do is to take your spoolie. This is my Kaylee Beauty one. And then I am going to brush through that to lighten that up a bit so it still looks like it's my brow. Same thing, carve it out. Now I'm gonna take the smaller fine tip and I'm just gonna add a couple hairs. Both look really pretty, both are giving natural. We've just gone a little bit more soft with our hands in 2025, but I really love the way both of these products work. That's why I recommended both of them to you guys. Before I leave you, I will say another thing that I noticed different the way I do my brows then and now is also I do not sculpt out the middle like I used to and then cut it off and block them out. I want them to look as natural as possible. I feel like it looks pretty with my facial features as I'm growing up, and I think it just is very complimentary. The way you wear your brows will completely alter your face, but I'm loving the way my natural brows look these days, but I just want them perfect. So this is the routine. If this helped you, comment down below. Let me know if you prefer the pencil or you're like, I think I wanna go ahead with something like this pen. Both products I'm gonna have down below. I do get commission from both of them, just so you guys know, but I will link both. Again, this was Smoke, that color black, and this was 03. That is all that I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching. This was my updated brow tutorial. If you need help with your foundation or just trying a new look, I have a bunch of videos posted for you to watch next.